Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Saturday, March 10th, 2018. Doing a quick little Grand Solar Minimum space weather update and weather climate update. First, I want to start with SPACEWEATHER.com. We do have a solar wind speed at 401 kilometers per second with a density of 12.7. Again, this is the 7th day in a row with no sunspots. That'll make 35 days on the year. Beautiful aurora picture here. We had a crack in the magnetosphere, as they say, which allowed some solar wind to escape into our atmosphere last night, creating these beautiful pictures. KP indices is at a 2 right now. The 24-hour max was at a 4. And looking at our SDO, we have a coronal hole that is turning towards Earth facing. Now, NASA and NOAA are saying that we will see coronal hole solar wind speed, I should say, should increase by the 14th of March. So they are looking at an increase in solar wind speed. Possible geomagnetic storm is definitely possible. G1, G2. Definitely keep our eyes on it though, but still early, so we'll see what happens. Looking at the SDO, we are looking at the TSI reading right now. Hello. Last TSI reading came in at 1361.10, so up just a little bit. And that was as of March the 2nd, 2018. So we continue to monitor the TSI numbers here as we have it back as far as the 15th of February. We have definitely dropped since the 16th and continue to trend downward. Going over to Earth Null real fast. Go back to there. Alright. I want to take a look at the temps in the Arctic. This is something that I'm just going to continue to do until I stop hearing about how we have 45-degree temperatures up in the Arctic. Here over the North Pole where there's ice, 37.9, that's Celsius. Let's change that real quick to Fahrenheit. So negative 36, negative 36.2, negative 25, negative 19, negative 25, negative 24, negative 28, negative 22, 7 degrees. So we have a balmy 7-degree spot here, folks. But as you can see that we are looking at temperatures still well below freezing, even at 7.5 degrees, 4.6 degrees, -3. I mean, I'm trying to find a hot spot here, 7.2, 5.2, 3.5. Now, I'm not saying that we're not experiencing some a warmer anomaly in this area, but if you look at around the rest of the Arctic, we are well below freezing, folks. Alright, moving along to watchers. And there was a couple things I wanted to go over here. First of all, the major flooding in Queensland. Now, I put together a little video a little bit ago about it. This is the 3rd time that we have reported that Australia has had a rain event like this. We've had one in January at the end, or middle of January, and then we had one in February, and now one here early in March. Again, we're seeing record rains as much as 16 inches in one day. Major flood levels at many rivers around. 24-hour, let's see, here's some of the totals. And just, these are ranges of, I think, 3 days. Past 4 days since March 9th. So we've got one area with 33 inches of rain in Bulgan Creek. 24 fell at TiTLE, and so it looks like a lot of folks got between 16 and 38 inches of rain in 4 days, and some areas received as much as 16 in 1 day. And I found this interesting. They're telling people to watch out with all the flooding they got going on. That it is not out of the question to run into a croc. So again, that's over at watchers.news. It's where I found this article at, and I pulled most of my resource from that when I did the video today. Speaking of which, videos, Mari posted something pretty interesting today on her channel. First of all, we have, has this interview went up yet, Mari?
With Sasha?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we did release the interview with Sasha that we did a while back, and I did a little piece about it on our website, talking about the ebook that Mari and I were discussing mostly in his interview. So check it out, Grand Solar Minimum. You can find that ebook right there at the link. And then here's a little piece I did for the flooding in Queensland. But this was the one that Mari found today, and I can't believe that that we haven't seen this quicker. This came out on February 8th. We found it on foxnews.com in their science section. And, you know, the mainstream media is finally coming to grips that there is a grand solar minimum. And that's not right. The joys of live. I clicked on that link. That wasn't right. So I posted the wrong link, folks. I'll fix that. I do apologize. But basically, this article is confirming the grand solar minimum, that the sun will be unusually cool by the 2050s. They're not really acknowledging that we're seeing the changes now, but they use that famous one line that they always use, like the global warming will be too strong for the grand solar minimum to do anything. You know, it will cool down, but it won't stop global warming. And you know, there's two ways to look at this, and they're both right in my opinion. The first way is that here we go, mainstream media playing it down. You know, don't worry about the cooling part. There's too much warming for that to happen. Don't worry. So now there's a minimizing aspect to it. And then if you're like me and you want to be kind of a wise guy about it, well, yeah, technically they're right. Nothing will stop global warming, just like nothing will stop global cooling. So when you hear that statement from mainstream media, just remember they're not lying. That nothing will stop global warming and nothing will stop global cooling as well. These are natural cycles that our sun goes through, and there's nothing that man can do to stop either warming or cooling. Nothing. They will happen no matter what. So I thought it was very important for us to post this up. We did a live stream of the video from Fox News. I'll fix the link, guys. We'll make sure we take care of that. And goodness. Anyway, we'll get that taken care of and get you the right link so you can read the article. Again, it's just basic grand solar minimum information, stuff that you've heard from us before.
On our Twitter, if you want to show it. You want me to pull it up real quick?
Our Twitter is right here.
Oh. While you're doing that, I just want to say, Sasha Dobler, I am sorry this interview took me a while to get out. I know we spoke to you a while ago. I was having some computer issues. I was stuck in between a broken one and a half-working one, and now I'm really up and running. Your interview was on my broken computer, but I am so happy that we got that out today, and I am sure everyone who listens to that is going to get quite a bit out of that. Definitely visit his site and read that ebook. It's just jam-packed with loads of historical data. Yep, right there, that one with the sky. You can click right on this, yeah.
All right, so this article, just to show you that it was on Fox News, I wanted to bring you to it, but this article has been on several news sites. News.com.au. That's all right.
I couldn't mute it.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
So they got their own video. They put a little bit about the grand solar minimum here for you to look at. They put together a video. It's interesting. They're just basically repeating information that you've heard from us and others in the Grand Solar Minimum community. So it's a win-win that we got the mainstream media at least acknowledging it. Now it's to get them to understand the science so they can stop saying things like, oh, it won't stop the warming. Well, actually, when you say things that won't stop the warming, it'll temporarily cool, they're kind of telling the truth, because it will warm again. But the question is, how long of a minimum are we going to be in? How deep is this going to continue? So, again, it's natural. There's nothing that man can do to start or stop it. All right, enough of my babble here. I wanted to go over to Tropical Tidbits and take a look at a couple weather systems. For one, I want to look at the West Coast right now. We are looking at some pretty heavy precipitation coming into California right now, and as we look at the models we go through the next couple of days, we've got system after system moving in, and by the 15th we've got 3 major low pressure systems that'll be on the West Coast. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on the West Coast as far as any kind of flooding. Still plenty of snowfall in the higher elevations, as the colder weather will support snow in other regions as well. But just a lot of moisture coming in right now, and just wanted to point quickly to that as well. Let's hope that everything goes well and we get dams that do their job. But for the rest of us here, go ahead and pull it back up. There we go. So we're looking at right now, actually this is Sunday. So here we are, Saturday night, late Saturday night into Sunday morning. The southeast is in a severe weather threat right now. The models aren't really representing that, but if you look at local radar, you'll see there's a lot of pop-up storms that just occurred right now. But this is going into Monday, and we start to see some snow build up on the back of this. Now here's some good news. On the 12th, we're still going to get snow in the east, but this storm is not... Well, that's interesting, because now the GFS models are showing something a little different. This storm is hugging the coast, according to the GFS models. Now, I've seen other models that are not representing this right here, that it's going off into the middle Atlantic. So this is new. This must have just updated, because I've seen other models take this out to sea. So I'm interested now in how this plays out. We'll have to keep our eyes on this. But going back here to the 12th, this low pressure system that you see sitting off of the Atlantic, a lot of forecasts are having it continuing moving off into the Atlantic, but the GFS is now suggesting that this thing kind of comes back into the coast a little bit, and the GFS is very aggressive on the snowfall amounts, because a lot of the local weather channels are not calling for this widespread of a snow event into the Northeast. Now this is more upstate New York and on, not western New York. They're going to get lake effect snows from this, same with Pennsylvania and Ohio. But so we'll have to keep our eyes on that system as it tries to make its way out of the Northeast. By the 15th, it's still kind of lingering. And we get somewhat of a break for most of the country on Friday next week. But there's another system like I was talking about on the West Coast. I think that's number 3 right there. And then we get this monster that forms over us by next weekend. So very busy. We do get a couple of days of break here in the Midwest and the East Coast of the United States. But the West Coast seems to be weathering most of the rain right now as well. And this storm system that's coming next weekend, we'll have to keep our eyes on that as well, as it looks to be a multiple day event. And behind it is, guess what? More precipitation. Heavy snow possible as well by early next week. So nothing's really changed. Every time we go to Tropical Tidbits, we see storm after storm after system after storm system. Mari, you look like you might have something.
I'm just catching up on the chat here. Starman asks, could you confirm the Siberian Express Part 2 for Europe? And TSM, you know, Starman, excellent job with the weather over across the pond. And he... you know what? Well, I am so guilty of not checking other people's YouTube channels out. I'm so far behind in watching people's videos, like Radical Gardeners, the Starman, everyone. I will play catch up, and eventually. It's been a crazy few weeks.
Let's take a look here.
What's going on over there, Jake?
So taking a look at our temperatures.
You scroll that up a little bit.
Yes, I will.
Not to be, there we go.
Ah, I see it here. So here towards the middle of March, looks like our friends all across the pond, once again, you guys are going to see some colder weather. And this is mid-March.
I love how Starman's calling it the Polar Express, too.
Yeah, I mean, well, here, look at where we're at. This is, now, guys, this is March 25th. It's so far out, but look at the cold that's going to be in the Alps. I mean, this is March 25th. We're almost approaching spring. We are past spring at this point, and more cold air into the 26th. Wow, thanks for bringing that up to us. I had no idea that they were going to see that kind of temperatures in the next 15 days. So that's interesting to see, because I think we're staying pretty cold in the United States. And I'll go back to this here in a second, but as we play through the weather report here overseas, and you see London or Europe pretty much getting nailed. There's 3 major low pressure systems that's dropping precipitation here through mid-March. And then we start to get the colder air in, and now we're starting to see more snowfall. And this is by the 20th of March. We'll start to see a lot of rain change over to snow. Moving through, more snow, more rain, but mostly snow again by the 25th. Look at the size of the storm system here. So what we're looking at on the 26th of March is majority snow. And we're approaching April. Now, I know that getting that kind of snow or this kind of weather here in Buffalo is normal. But I know this ain't normal for you guys for sure. And I wanted to quickly go to the 26th because we had a major system look like it. Yeah, so we have a big storm system on the 24th that I want to make sure we keep our eyes on as well. I mean, look at the size of this thing. This is mid-March, late March. Again, this is what we're worried about. It's storms like this that keep happening. You know, we need to be planting right now in these parts of the country, and this is a monster. Starts up late the following Friday, according to the GFS. And this is really, really far out, but the models are not favorable right now, in my opinion. This storm is huge. Lots of heavy snow on the backside of it. So another large system we'll have to keep our eyes on, guys. Mari, did you have anything else in the chat, or?
Someone's saying there's shortages, but I'm not quite sure where exactly. Muesli and nut shortages, I guess. I'm not sure where. I think people are trying to clarify that in the chat. And then Gary in, I believe, Foxborough, Massachusetts, he's saying that the grid is just a mess in Massachusetts still after the, getting pegged with 2 nor'easters. So, I have been bogged down trying to get caught up. I'm going to be doing some follow-up footage on those storms. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I'm going to, try to get caught up tomorrow. I really wanted to get that interview out today. So, we will follow up and see. I don't know. Have you heard any articles? How many people are still without power?
Well, it doesn't surprise me. Not that this last storm was as bad, but it's still, when you think about the areas flooded out, they've already had down trees and power lines from the last storm. Then they got another one in 4 days. And what was supposed to be not a nor'easter, and now GFS is getting aggressive with this next storm system that's coming in. And I think it's showing it's hugging the coast a little tighter than the other forecasts that I've seen. So definitely just have to keep our eyes on that. But it wouldn't surprise me that that they're experiencing the mess that they have right now with their grids. See, that low pressure just comes in. That's the furthest inland I've seen that system being forecasted, and I've been watching the weather all day today. So I wonder if that's just a new update. But no, back to the Massachusetts grid. When I saw the pictures of Puerto Rico a few days ago and saw the power lines down, and it looked, very similar to a lot of areas in Massachusetts, this stuff takes time. And I know why the problem they're having with the grid is they're trying to connect these lines to as many transformers or less of them as they can until they get the replacements in. So, you know, I feel for them out there. Hopefully they get the power situation fixed soon, but, you know, it just seems like a storm after another, one after another. If they get another nor'easter, that would be 3 in 2 weeks and 4 in 2018. So, very active storm season already, and we're not even close to hurricane season, but yet we're getting these storm systems that look like hurricanes coming in and off the coast. So, lots to look at, lots to keep our eyes on. All right, guys, appreciate you tuning in tonight. That's going to do it for us tonight. Please like and share. We'll talk soon.